what's up, everybody? Back again with one more. I just want to give a little elaboration on that last addiction video for the day before I head on to my normal job, of understanding how addiction affects people and who it affects and things like that. Um, just so everybody's at a good awareness that I know there's a lot of people out there bashing people. We need to stop that because guess what? The right, perfect, or imperfect conditions, however you want to say it, can happen at any moment, and it'll affect somebody. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't, give a crap if you're, rich, poor. In the it doesn't matter. Everybody can become addicted. I was addicted on and off all my life, but where my biggest, where the strongest hold of it on me was I'd been on a standing order of Percocet 10s for almost 10, 15 years. From a doctor. Pills were getting harder and harder to find. They weren't giving, they wouldn't give me the pills, and I mean, I was in a lot of pain. I was over 430 pounds back then. I worked 14-hour days. I hurt. I'd broken my back. I've got joint issues. I don't feel that way anymore. I feel pretty good. I've gained a little bit of weight back, and so I feel at my knees and stuff. But I'm getting that back off. But understand that I had no quality of life. I work. Come home from work. I'd lay down, take a nap until it's dinner time, and as soon as I ate dinner, I'd go to bed until it's time to go back to work. Okay, there was no quality of life. I knew somebody that said, "Hey, you know, I got something that's a little cheaper and it'll work great." I did one line of that stuff again, and I hadn't done it in quite a long time. I tried to quit off of it for a while, and I got that one line in, and it was like I forgot that all that magic came back, and I'm like, yes, this is what I've been missing. I could work. I mean, I drove 300 stops. I ain't gonna tell the company I worked for at the time because they might be a little upset. But I drove a lot, and I was fully functioning addict. People didn't even know I was on heroin because that's how I functioned. So understand that. And I went from just snorting it again to shooting up 3 to 5 grams a day within 2 months, 3 months. You know, so it was a quick progression again. That's how quick. After I quitting for a couple of years, that's how quick it comes back to you. That quick. And that's usually where people overdose because they'll go to jail or something, and they'll go to jail for say 3 months. Well, all that heroin's still in your system, even though it's it won't pass in the piss test, but it's residual in your tissues. There's still those molecules in your tissues. So you come out and you do the same amount that you did when you went in there 3 months later. Guess what happens? There's an overdose. Okay. And I've had so many friends overdose, and a lot of them I was thankful I was there to help save them, because if I hadn't have been, they'd have died. As a matter of fact, one of them is dead now because that I saved the most because he happened to get out of jail, decide to do some heroin. Nobody was home. Well, guess what? That last overdose he took, nobody was around. You know, um, I give you November of 2020, thought I was taking a B12 shot and ended up with a arsenic laced heroin shot, and I didn't even know I was taking it, and it almost killed me. I was on parole at the time. I just got out of prison, been on parole. It's dangerous, people. What they're putting in. They're putting fentanyl and methamphetamines, even. Okay, now I've seen that, used largely with the sex trafficking community when I was trying to help pull girls out of that and get them to safety, and that's horrid. And that's another thing, is understand that that's very prevalent, people, and they're not looking for just kids like the government says. These drugs are not going to kids like the government says. As a matter of fact, 55% of the opioid deaths are males between the age of 25 and 59. The highest number. So, yes, it's good to get prevention to kids, but that's where, like these government programs, they focus only on the kids. You think they're putting money into rehabs and halfway houses? Absolutely. Safe houses and sober houses? No, they're not. I mean, these, hell, down in Florida, they got what they call the rehab circle. These people get out of rehab, they go back to the streets, and they're trying to get clean and stay clean, and they get a rehab rep, comes up and says, hey, you got to be clean, or you got to be dirty, so we'll go buy you the drugs, get you dirty, and we'll get you right back into rehab. And they're abusing those people's insurance company, their families. It's terrible. And I just found out about this recently. I was like, what? This is crazy. Or there's, your insurance doesn't cover rehabs. Understand that if you have an opioid addiction, especially, probably I probably should have went through a medical detox. You're probably going to need a medical detox. It's important because you can kill yourself through the delirium tremens. That's what the DTs are called, withdrawals commonly. They can kill you, and I thought I was going to die. I could barely move just enough to reach up and turn the shower on for a few minutes to clean all the shit and puke off me. And just until I couldn't stand it, my skin would start to crawl, and then I'd have to shut it back off. I laid in that bathtub until I got over it. I wasn't completely over it. You have to have a support system. Okay, that's the other thing. You cannot just use TikTok if that's all you got. Use it, but get you some nurturing, healthy support that you can physically go be around. Get outside, people. Walking helps. I know you might not want to, but getting up and exercising helps. Meditation helps. Here's a simple meditation you can start with. Do that 10 times, you will feel better. Okay? You start getting a bunch of negative thoughts, start taking some deep breaths. It does work because your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. Okay? And we'll get into this with coping skills, or point at something and, say what you're pointing at and tell what color it is, because your brain can only do one thing at a time, so it'll get your mind off that. But you can't focus on too much negativity, because that negativity brings more negativity. Your brain doesn't know a thought from reality, so it says, oh, this is what the person wants, so we're going to keep bringing it to them. So the more you think negative, the more negative you're going to bring. Okay, and like I said, we're going to get in more detail with all this. I just want to give you that little of understanding addiction, and you need support. Okay, you can't just TikTok's a great tool or Facebook's a great tool, but you need more support than this. As a matter of fact, I did a video about a spot weld. When I do a spot weld at work, if I just put two pieces of metal together, they fall apart. But if I put those two tiny little spot welds on there, we have to drill those out because we cannot get those stupid parts out if we spot weld them and mess up. Okay, that's what your support needs to be. It needs to be strong and resilient, and it's not going to break away, because you're going to need that, because there's going to be days where you're going to feel down and blue and dark, and you're going to have these dark thoughts. You're going to have all the nasty thoughts, and all the regret and all the guilt. It's going to come. It's going to hit you hard. Okay, but just don't give up. You got this, and stay as positive as you can. And as I go through this, we'll get into how to replace those negative triggers, and understanding what triggers and are, and how to recognize them, because self-awareness is huge, and that's a good start in your journey. Is once you know what's causing it, then you start being self-aware of what's triggering you, then you can start replacing that. Okay, and I'll go into all this in later videos, but y'all have a great day and stay blessed, and let's kick this thing in the bud. Let's stand together, because we need to, this country's motto is united we stand, divided we fall. Let's get together. Let's stop being nasty to each other because we think we're better than the next person because we follow this creator. Who cares? That creator don't care about you. All right, stop comparing yourselves to other people. Live within yourself, find your own purpose, and live for you. You're the only one that can. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Those people earn their rights. You earn yours. Do something with yourself. Stop acting like the world owes you something as well, because you know what, if you woke up this morning, you actually owe the good Lord above something. Be grateful that you woke up this morning. You have 24 hours to make an impact on this world. Let's do some good. Let's get rid of this hate, because you ain't better than nobody. I ain't better than nobody. So let's start loving everybody. Have a good day.